to my channel. Denise here. Today I'm coming on to do a make using this kit. I have shared an unboxing for this and I just couldn't wait to get started making with it. It is a subscription. It's out different theme every 3 months. I'll leave all the details to the subscription channel in the description box below, and I'll also leave a link to the unboxing video that I did of this. So without further ado, let's get on and make my first make. So first of all, I'm going to start off with a piece of card that measures 7 by 6, and that's just our base card. I've then got 2 pieces of card, and these measure 4.5 by 6, and on each one you need to score, and we need to score at 1, 2, 3 and 4 inches, and it just leaves us that 1/2 inch tab. The other piece I've got is a piece of acetate, and that measures 6 by 3.5. So we'll just pop that to one side. So that's the scoring done. So just pop them away. And I've already got one of these burnished, so let's burnish this other one. So we're just mountain folding all our score lines, and then what is going to happen is these are going to go on the ends here. So let's get these glued down, and I'll use my tacky glue for this. So once you've got that glued, just fold that score line down, and then we can just do that, and then just bring it over that way, just move it around just to ensure. So then we'll come to this other one. So that's your first, take your second fold line, scored line, and then just glue down that 1/2 inch, making sure you don't go off, and then just fold that over. I find that's the easiest way to do these and get it level. So there we are. I'm going to put the fold line on to the end of here, so that when you pop it up, you don't really see the join when you're looking at it. So let's just run our glue all down there, and just level it up top and side and bottom, just so it's all even along there. And then that way, there you go. So we're level at the top, bottom and at the side, and then we're going to do the same with that one. So again, I'm going to put the fold where our join was on the outside. So again, just run our glue all down here. Just gone off there a bit, and then just level it up again, top, bottom and side. Just make sure we're all even, and we are. use tacky glue just so it'll take quicker. If you want a bit more robust, use your Collall, but obviously you need to leave that to dry quite a bit longer. So there we have our card base. So now what I want to do, because when we fold it down to post, it's going to go like that. So it's going to be an 8 by 6-inch card. So, but that's how it's going to fold. So we want next to put our acetate on, and that is going to go along there, and we'll fold that there. So we need to get some tape on here. I'm going to clean off the acetate because it's looking a bit it's got some glitter on from a previous card, so I'm going to clean that, get it, put my tape on it, and then I'll come back and we'll get it stuck down. So I've cleaned off the acetate, I've used some rubbing alcohol, and I've put some red liner tape down the edges. So I'm going to put this towards the bottom of the card. So that is going to go, that's right. So that's how that's going to fit on there. And that's how that will be. So now I just want to put my patterned papers, and in the kit we got some lovely scenes like this. Now in order for my papers to go with a border, I just needed to take a 1/7 of an inch off each side of this paper, so just 1/7. Didn't need to take anything off the bottom of it or anything like that, so it was just so I could get my measurements. So that's 1/7 off each side, and that allowed me to cut my pieces as I wanted. So I cut them at 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch from one side. So let me show you it, I'll explain it a little bit better. So I took 3/4, after cutting off the 1/7, I took a 3/4 inch off each side there, and then the same on the other side, so 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch, and then that left me my panel in the middle. So we can, so when you're doing anything like this to match it up, just make sure you've got your pattern the same. So let me have a look. That's that side, and that one is that side. So your pattern, the picture looks the same. So we just need to get these glued down, and these are going to go in here with just a little border around them, and that one's down at the bottom there, and then the same on that side. So we've got our picture. So I'll get these stuck down and then we'll carry on with the rest. So there we have all our pieces on there. So that will fold like that. So now what we got in the kit was a die set for making a cart, like an ice cream cart, cake cart, flower cart. So I've decided to do mine in ice cream. Now this is the bottom of the cart. We get those two pieces from you could leave it like that, have just as a counter in a flower shop or something like that, or an ice cream parlour. But I'm going to do it as the cart says, and this is how we can set it up, one of the ways anyway. But I thought I'd use all the pieces, the wheels and everything. So let's get all the pieces. So this is the top of it. So we cut that out, and that is the fringing. So let's get that glued on. I'll have this glue for this, as it's got my precision nib on, it'll be better. So just to glue down all these. I thought the previous two kits that we've had, we knew what the kits consisted of. This one, they didn't put out any information of what this kit consisted of. So it was a very nice surprise when I opened the box to see what it was. I think it's a lovely theme, a lovely summer theme. So there we are. We get all those matched up there. So that gives us the top. And as I say, we have got the bottom, so I'll stick this piece on here. And I've used one of the stamp set stamps from this, and it's "May your day be filled with flavours of joy." I thought you'd get all different flavours of ice cream. So I'm going to put that on there. Now this is like the countertop that's going to go along there and hang over the edge. And what I did, I actually cut this piece out twice, once in brown and once in white, just to give it a nice piece, strength really. So let's just have a look at that. Let's get this on here so that I can get it straight. If you've got a grid, are you seeing what I'm doing? Yes, you are. I get carried away and forget to have a look to see if you can see. So I've got that there. So that gives me a nice piece to glue that onto. So that's like the countertop. Get that level. Now I've also got, where's my other one? I know I've got, there it is. I've got two pieces for the struts. So again, I'm going to pop that on there. And that one there, I think, just to get them level. Let's have a look. So if I use that one, the bottom one as well, and then just along there for that one, right, and I'll just pop a little bit of glue on there, and on and then on that one, and then just bring that down a bit. Just get them on there. Just see if that's right. Oh dear. Let's try this again. I'm sure it's not as fiddly as what I'm making it out to be. Let me just have a look. It might be better to do one at a time. So if I put that on there, with a little bit of glue. I just want to get it level. So that one on there. That's it. And then that one at that side. Get that level. Sure that's about right. And then I just need to put a blob of glue onto there, and then just get that level there. So that's the start. We could leave that like that and have that just as a stall, but as I say, I want to try and use all the bits of it, because there is so many ways that we can use this. So I've taken these dies, these two solid ones, and they form the big tire and the little one. And you could use two of the big ones if you wished, or two of the small ones. But as I say, I just wanted to use it as it is, to show how it's done. And then these two form the inside of the wheels like that. So, and I did cut it out twice again, once in white card, once in silver for the insides, and once in white and once in black. So what I'm going to do is just run a small bead of glue around here, just to stick that on. Let's get that centered. If you get glue on there, you can always wipe it off with some tissue. So that's that one, and then the same with this one. Just a small bead of glue just around there, and then we're just going to pop that one on there as well. So that's our glue on there. That's taken quite nicely. I think this one just haven't got enough glue around it, I don't think. Let's say, I don't know whether I'm making it look difficult, more difficult than it is. So there we are, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Happier with that. So we'll just leave those to dry on that silver card, and then you get this little die. That one gives you the center for each of the little tires. So where's my little picky up tool? Oh, there we are. Little blob of glue. To the center of the hub, and then the same. I wonder if I can do it better that way. Then, as I say, with the glue, if any glue shows, we can always rub it off later. These dry clear anyway, so, but there you are. So that's that. we've then got this little thing, which forms the sort of axle there for this little wheel. And then we've got our big wheel that will go on there. So let me just pop a bit of glue on there and just let's get that level along that line and that level. Just take it in a little bit. So that's that. And then we'll have our wheel on the end of it. There we are. Let me just rub that away before we get messy on that. Let's pop that on that line, because what I want now is to have my other wheel coming down to there. So we'll just pop our glue just on that. No, I think that needs to go on the top. So it'll go just on there. So again, let me just clean my, so that's that. How lovely is that? So then we have this piece, which is the handle. So again, just a little blob of glue, and we just want to put that under there. There we are. And then just this other piece that I've got, this silver piece, I just want to run along there. So I'm going to run my glue along there, and we will just pop that along. So there we have our cart. And I've also got this banner, which what I want to do is run it along the top, but I've cut it in green and I've cut it in white, because what I want to do is cut some of these white pieces off and just stick them every other one. So one in there, one in there, and one in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. Right, so that's the bunting just tagged underneath there. So let's bring my card in, and I'm just going to run, I'm going to do tape. I'm going to run some tape on there. And then just a thinner tape along here, because it is going to hang up over the edge slightly, because I don't want to bring it all the way down. So I'm just going to run some tape along here. So let's just get this, just want to get that there, make sure I've got it think that's level before I commit to pushing it down. There we are. So that is my little ice cream cart there. So I've also got from this stamp set, I've taken a drinks carton, which I may put around. I've got some lollipops that are going to go on there, and some ice creams, and a chocolate fountain, which I think I'm just going to pop on the countertop. I may just, might not put those lollipops, might put the chocolate fountain on there. And then I've got an ice cream cone, which I'm going to glue on under there. And then I've got another ice cream here, which I'll pop on the side. Might not use that fountain actually. Might use the cones. Some stacked cones there. And I think, no, shall I use that at that side, that in the middle, and then just my cones on the outer edge? I don't know, but I'm certainly going to put my ice cream up there. So again, I shall get these stuck down and I'll come back to you when I've finished it. So here's the finished card. I've put all my embellishments on there. I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. On the back I've put another piece of white card, and in the kit we get a page of ephemera and some borders. So I've just taken one of the borders and put it along and cut out some of the ephemera ice creams just to tie in the back with the front. So as I say, I'm really happy with that. It's kind of a bridge fold card, I suppose. So I hope you like it. As I say, I think this kit is fabulous. I really do. I love this card and how you can adapt it. There's different themes, flowers and tacos and burgers. There's even one to do it for Christmas. So and there's so many ways in which you can use it just as a countertop. As I say, you don't have to have all the wheels, but I just thought I'd show it. Use all the elements of the die set. So I hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I do know I have got some new subscribers recently, so thank you ever so much for taking the time to hit that subscribe button and also the time to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. So I will leave it there. I'll say thank you again for watching. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.